meters of freehold land, being lot 22, deposited plan 69523, with a certificate of title number being 25C folio 291 in the North Auckland Land Registry. Now, the settlement date that I have set out within the contract for the purchasers here today is the 28th of February 2022. So plenty of time to get your ducks in a row, get your finance organised, of course, settle down over Christmas and get back into the business end ready to settle on this property on the 28th of February. Now, the terms and conditions of today's auction are fairly straight and clear. The property is offered subject to a reserve price. The highest bidder above the reserve price will be our new purchaser. Now, I may nominate the sum in which the bidding can be raised, and I may also refuse a bid if I don't deem it in the best interest of our vendor. Important to note today, folks, is that it is a virtual auction, and sometimes things may take a little bit longer. But however, we will offer everybody a fair and equal opportunity to express their interest by way of bidding on this property here today. On the fall of my hammer, folks, which today will be my contract in my palm, you'll do two things for me. You'll sign your name on the contract, failing which I'll do so on your behalf. So don't do a runner, folks. And of course, you'll pay 10% of the ultimate purchase price as your deposit here today. Today's auction is held in line with the REAA and the REINZ best guides and practice set out for real estate agents in New Zealand. Folks, that takes us into the business end. Now let's talk a little bit about this fantastic opportunity that we have here today. The first one that rings all the alarm bells for me in the great purchase sense is, of course, 1,097 square meters of freehold land being in FAB zoning, terrace and housing and apartment zoning. And ladies and gentlemen, in Auckland market where everything, of course, is becoming more dense and development is happening, that is where the opportunity right now is for ripe investment. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk a little bit about the area being in Henderson, only a short stroll down to, of course, the major amenities. We have the West City Mall, of course, all the transport hub around that, the train station, and of course, some fabulous restaurants too, with the, of course, the new revived falls down there in Henderson, and of course, we have the pools. There is just so much around you that just makes this a very, very sensible purchase for investment. Now, folks, of course, we have a fantastic home on this site too. You may look to land bank this property and you may look to rent it out over the next few years to recognize the equity, to obviously to recognize the capital gains in this property also. So smart buying all the way around, of course. And we know, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in the Auckland market, folks. We know that over the last 40 years, the only way that Auckland property has ever gone is upwards, and we don't see that changing anytime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I put one Cyprian and right on the market, opening bidder offer. Let's go, folks. Who's going to take us away? But don't mind where we start. It's all about where we finish here today, folks. Well, it's always awkward when we have silence on site, but even different virtually. So if you're here to bid and buy, now's the time to get going, folks. Let's get it underway. Well, folks, I'll get it underway then with a vendor bid on me of $1.3 million even, and we'll look for a 50 increase on 1.3. Fantastic, buying at a level of $1.3 million. I'll look for the 50. I'll call it 3 times and we'll move it along. First call at 1,300,000. Second call at 3 on top of the ton. Third call at 1.3. And we'll move it along to $1,350,000 with a vendor bid to be clear. At $1,350,000, same game, folks. I'll invite you back into the 50 now, and I'll look for 1.4 to be say. At $1,350,000 now, we look for 1.4 to be say. As I said, folks, we'll give you enough opportunity to type your bid in the box there. At $1,350,000. Well, folks, we'll do the same procedure. We'll call it 3 times and we'll move it along with the vendor bid then. First call at $1,350,000. Second call at $350,000 on top of the ton. Third final call at $1,350,000. Well, folks, I have no problem moving it along to a level of $1.4 million with a vendor bid. And again, I'll invite you back in. Let's try at 25 this time to see if that spikes your interest. At $1,400,000 now, make no mistake, I can't sell it to you at this level, but we're getting closer. At $1,400,000, 1.4 now the bid. First call. Twice money. Third final time at $1,400,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are fairly clear here today at the auction. At a level of $1.4 million, I would need a further increase on bidding. Make no mistake, you'll be playing against a conditional market. We're talking about 1,093 square meters of freehold land being zoned for terraced housing and apartments. An opportunity, of course, which is becoming very rare, much like the New Zealand mower. They'll be gone very, very soon. At $1,400,000, I can only suggest that that's fantastic buying at that level. Ladies and gentlemen, at $1.4 million, I'll call it 3 times, and otherwise I have no absolute problem at passing that property in at this level, and we will see a sold sign on it very, very soon, I'm sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, now's your last chance. At $1.4 million, we'll call it 3 times. First call. Twice. Third final time at $1.4 million. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are clear. We are going to pass the property in here today. We know we have a certain amount of conditional interest in this property. I'm sure Dean Smith and all his team here at Central West will see a sold sign on this property very, very shortly. Thank you very much for attending an auction today from Ray White Central West. On behalf of Dean Smith and our team, we wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a very safe New Year. Thank you very much.